Have you ever wondered what the pH scale is a measure of and how acids and bases relate to this pH scale? Well, today I'm going to try and explain what makes an acid and a base and relate this to what the pH scale is all about. So let's begin. So the pH scale is this scale that ranges from 0 to 14, where if a solution has a pH reading that's close to 0, we consider it to be more acidic, where if it has a pH close to 14, we consider it to be more basic. Where in the middle of the scale, where it has a pH of 7, we consider it to be a neutral solution. But what does any of this mean? Well, to help understand that, we need to consider two very important ions. The hydrogen ion, which is a positively charged ion, and the hydroxide ion, which is a negatively charged ion. Now, the pH scale is simply a measurement of the ratio of the number of hydrogen ions that are present in a solution in comparison to the number of hydroxide ions that are present in the solution. Now, to help us understand this, I want to consider water for the moment, which is also known as H2O. Let's pretend that in front of me I have a water molecule, where in blue is the oxygen atom, and it's bonded or stuck together with two hydrogen atoms, which I have in red here. Occasionally in water, some of these molecules do what we call dissociation, or they dissociate from each other, which simply means that they break apart within the bond. Now, if a water molecule is to dissociate or break apart, what we're left here with is one of these hydrogen ions and one of these hydroxide ions. And what we're left here with is an equal balance in the number of hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions that are in the solution. And when we go to measure this, the ratio of hydrogen ions to hydroxide ions is equal or balanced. And we consider this to be a neutral solution, which would have a pH of 7. So we now know that water, when it dissociates, it ends up with some hydrogen ions and some hydroxide ions, and the ratio between them is the same. So then what makes an acid an acid? Well, an acid simply means that it's got more hydrogen ions in its solution than it does hydroxide ions. And the more hydrogen ions in ratio to hydroxide ions a solution has, the lower the pH value the solution will be, and the more acidic the solution will become. However, a basic solution is the complete opposite. If we were to have more hydroxide ions in our solution, it would have a higher pH and hence be considered to be more basic. So when we talk about this pH scale, it's simply a reading of the ratio of hydrogen ions we have compared to the ratio of hydroxide ions. If a solution is to have more hydrogen ions compared to hydroxide ions, the solution is more acidic. However, if a solution has more hydroxide ions compared to hydrogen ions, then the solution is considered to be more basic. So let's recap. Acids are made up of compounds that when they dissociate or break apart, they contain more hydrogen ions than hydroxide ions. And we consider acids to be donators of hydrogen ions, but I'll talk about that in a future video. Now, all acids have a pH of less than 7, where bases, on the other hand, are made up of compounds that when they dissociate or break apart, they contain more hydroxide ions than they do hydrogen ions. And we consider bases to be acceptors of hydrogen ions. But once again, I'll talk about that in a future video. All bases, when it comes to the pH scale, have a pH that's greater than 7. And remember, the pH scale is a measurement of the ratio between hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. More acidic solutions means that they're going to have more hydrogen ions compared to hydroxide ions. More basic solutions are going to have more hydroxide ions in comparison to the number of hydrogen ions.